A Great Chaos is Ken Carson's third studio album, released on October 13, 2023. After joining the Opium label, Ken leaned into a mysterious, dark aesthetic, but for this album, he took it even further by promoting it with eerie gore-inspired visuals. While fitting the label's style, this felt like a bold rebrand, something fresh that would make a lasting impact. And funny enough, that's exactly what would happen. It gave Ken a crazy amount of recognition to go mainstream. So let's dive in and talk about the full album and the deluxe edition with 25 tracks total and explain the meaning behind all of them. Green Room previewed a snippet via IG leading up to the album's release. The title refers to the backstage area where artists wait before performing. Ken reflects on going from nothing to success, calling out those who once ignored him but now want his attention. He flaunts his wealth but reveals a deeper emptiness, feeling numb, relying on drugs, and tired of fake connections. Despite the fame, he feels alone. References include Naruto, Blue 100 Bills, and his Opium twin, Destroy Lonely. The track opens with dark synths, heavy arpeggios, deep 808s, and gritty percussion. When I listened to it for the first time, I thought it sounded alright, but when I was writing the script while the songs played in the back, I totally undermined how good the song actually is. Hearing this song again undoubtedly reopened my eyes. I was holding back tears, not gonna lie. It has a perfect balance with its soundscape, where I can hear his voice without the beat overshadowing it. Some beats tend to be too loud or too quiet to make anything out, but I can hear both elements with no complaint. Overall, this shit has me floating. This song is S tier. Jennifer's Body first teased via IG Live on May 31st, 2023. The title nods to the 2009 horror comedy film. Ken reflects on his rise from nothing, saying he's never seen someone dodge a bullet or met a woman he truly needs. He boasts about making money in many ways, flexing VVS diamonds and designer brands like Chanel, Balenciaga, and Gucci. He compares his girl to Jennifer. He paints her as both attractive and dangerous. He shouts out producer Lil 88 and defines keeping it 100 as staying truthful. The track opens with a glitchy, cyber-inspired beat with a fuck intro that nods to Green Day's Good Riddance. Blending synths, stuttering rhythms, deep 808s, and auto-tune vocals for a sci-fi feel. This song is undoubtedly a classic, with the intro having pauses in between the beats, and it keeps you off guard till the beat drops. I love this song. This song is S tier. Fighting My Demons, formerly known as Pop, was previewed several times online and on his Snapchat story, with two separate songs being part of the same track during January and August 2023. The first part is a gritty, street-focused rap, with Ken calling himself a chiefer when smoking kush, carrying guns, living on the edge, and flexing expensive cars, like a Hellcat and a Rolls-Royce Culligan, with references to Russian roulette and basketball star Dwayne Wade. The second part builds up a transition to a beat switch and gives a repetitive hook, with Ken repeating the phrase "fighting my demons," showing a personal and vulnerable side as he battles with mental struggles. The beat is moody and dark, with slow haunting synths and a deep bass that perfectly patches the theme of fighting inner struggles. This became one of the more popular songs, and for good reason too. It just sounds so good. And the music video, directed by Cole Bennett, helped display the imagery to a new pair of eyes. Dude, the second part with the instrumental building up to the beat switch always gives me goosebumps. The hook is phenomenal. It's an orchestral masterpiece. This song is S tier. Singapore, featuring Destroy Lonely. The song was recorded in 2022 and first previewed during his IG Live on September. Another snippet surfaced on September 22nd, 2023. Ken boasts his wealth before age 23, comparing himself to LeBron James and flaunting luxury cars like a Bentley Mulsanne, Lamborghini CVJ, and a Steph Curry-inspired tennis chain. He highlights his flashy lifestyle, throwing money at Magic City, scoring 30-pointers with women, and traveling to Singapore. Lone's verse continues the theme with references references to Balenciaga, Alex Moss jewelry, a Rolls-Royce Ghost, Ken Nugent, and cosmic imagery like higher than a UFO. The beat is a high-energy glitch trap instrumental with heavy bass, rapid hi-hats, and electronic synths. Ken's voice sound kind of monotone and low-key, but it fits with the beat. Both sound pretty unique. Lone obviously slid on this hard. I loved his verse and flow. I'm putting this song on A tier. Lose It is a dark, chaotic track mixing emotional turmoil, street aggression, and drug-fueled escapism. Ken raps about popping Molly to numb himself, linking drugs with casual sex and a lavish lifestyle in the hills. Despite success, he maintains a street mindset. He boasts about modded guns, dismisses enemies, and references Rick Owens and Vitamin's new rock. Admitting he's barely holding it together, he uses music to vent and warns that he's about to lose it. The beat's fast, dark, and chaotic, with haunting synths, heavy bass, 808s, and minimalist trap rhythms that reflects his mental spiral. Now this is where the chaos really starts to set in, by being completely drowned with that loud distorted bass. And it sounds immaculate, and it's the perfect track for a mosh pit. This song is S tier. Hardcore first previewed via IG Live on June 17th, 2023. It starts with a crazy hook. He raps about street violence, fake drugs, and revenge with graphic detail. He mentions weapon calibers, he name drops Mexico Joe, Slick Rick, and Playboy Cardi, and even throws in a vegetable pun. The beat is loud and aggressive, packed with intense synths and heavy 808s. Dude, the hardcore I'm Going Gore got Lana Del Rey fans fearing for their life.
You scared? You should have stayed the fuck home.
The bass, melody, and vocal performance mixed with each other perfectly. This song goes stupid and I love it. I'm putting it in S tier. Me and My Cup, formerly known as Bodies, first previewed via IG Live between May 5th and May 16th, 2023. He raps about multiple fashion brands like Rick Owens, Balenciaga, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton. He also shows his detachment from fake people and women who only want him now that he's successful, and makes references to LeBron James, Van Gogh, and weirdly enough, John Wayne. The beat thrives on stacked synths, booming 808s, and skittering percussion, with a dark piano melody running beneath it all, and layered with distorted bass and punchy drums. Dude, this became one of my favorites for having the coolest sounding production yet. The melodies and sound effects stick out so much. I'm putting it in S tier. It's Over previewed via IG Live throughout January 2023 and previewed the song again at Rolling Loud. He raps about money weighing down his pants, wild nights on ecstasy, aka X-Pills, and lean when pulling up to shows for big money. He references Forgiato wheels, Mercedes, and violence, comparing his actions to the booming power of an 808. He asserts his individuality by saying he's 4 pockets full, but not like Lil Baby, dyes his hair blonde, and mentions a wild blonde girl going legally blonde. He also boasts about guns like a Kel-Tec and calls out to any posers while claiming his rockstar status, while dressed in all black like Folgers coffee, ending it off with the repeated "It's Over" hook. It has a fast-paced melodic beat with layered soundscapes along with distorted 808s, energetic hi-hats, and atmospheric synths. Dude, this shit is an underrated banger. I wish the length was longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds cause this shit sounds so tough. The way he raps and the 808 beat pattern are just in your face. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm putting it in A tier. Succubus, formerly known as Sucka or So Dark, first previewed on June 17th, 2023 on his Snapchat story and would surface another snippet on September 3rd. The song ties back to Jennifer's body. In the film, Jennifer is killed in a ritual and comes back as a succubus. It paints a dark, emotional, chaotic picture of a reckless relationship. Ken describes his emo girlfriend as self-destructive and dangerously seductive, calling her a succubus, and says he had to put her in park to slow down her emotional pace. He explores drug use, impulsiveness, and detachment, comparing himself to MySpace co-founder Tom Anderson for needing space, and references Lil Uzi Vert's Love is Rage to show his intense love life. The track blends vulnerability with flexing travel, hookups, partying, and fashion like Rick Owens and Raph Simons. He calls out other men for being all talk, saying they're like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb, while he's more like Ferb, quiet but real with his shit. The beat features dark, eerie trap with distorted bass, heavy 808s, slow haunting rhythms, fog-like synths, and sparse percussion. This track sounds so cool and deep. The bass is borderline abrasive and loud, and his vocal delivery is more echoey and monotone. The lyrics and flow stick out amazingly. I'm putting it in S tier. Paranoid, formerly known as Keltec, featuring Destroy Lonely, was previewed via IG Live on December 11th, 2022. More snippets would surface on April 10th, 2023, previewing Lone's verses, and the rest during live performances. Ken talks about living on edge with a fire-ready Keltec, comparing its strength to flipping someone like gymnastics. His hoes are Barbie dolls, plastic but loyal, by knowing every gang sign, and treating intimacy like life or death. He's always paranoid, so he's ready to take a life before someone takes his. Lone's verse continues by flashing icy diamonds, colder than Illinois, and claiming dominance with freak hoes and cash. He uses basketball metaphors to highlight his effortless success, mentions driving a Trackhawk, carrying a soaped-up FN gun, and only moving forward after getting paid. He closes with a line about a woman on her knees like she just met the Lord. The beat is dark, with heavy 808s, distorted bass, sparse percussion, and eerie synths. I like this one. Ken's delivery and hook were good, but Lone's verse and flow sound magical. The pace is a little bit slower, but I don't mind it. I'm putting it in A tier. Potts was first seen on the original track list for the album, posted on his Twitter on June 25th, 2023. He previewed a snippet via IG Live on July 26th and at the Lollapalooza Festival on August 4th. He raps about pouring lean, staying ready for violence with his twin, and mocking a talkative enemy. He brushes off interest in another man's girlfriend until he sees her twerk, and brags about sex and wealth, saying his hands hurt from counting money. He compares himself to a surgeon in bed, calls himself cursed for wearing an upside-down cross, and mocks people chasing money or scared of conflict. Other mentions like sleeping with a MILF, wearing chrome heart glasses, says a woman tried grabbing him but grabbed his .30 caliber instead, and pulling up to someone who thought he wouldn't find him. It has a psychedelic, machine-like trap beat with a dark sci-fi robotic melody blending with warped percussions and rumbling bass. I liked it, with the beat and production towering over his pitched up vocals, and his flow isn't bad either. I'm putting it in B tier. Like This, featuring Destroy Lonely and Lil Uzi Vert. It was first teased on his Twitter on June 10th, 2023. Uzi opens up by hyping his perfectly fitting Balmain jeans, while the other two continue the bridge and question why their clothes and women look so good. Ken and Uzi rap about loyalty and protection, with Ken bragging about hooking up with a MILF and jogging about DSL. Lone adds vampire metaphors, sipping walk, and shopping Balenciaga. Uzi addresses Illuminati rumors while boasting about diamonds, guns, and wearing Rick Owens, even letting a white woman say the N-word. Ken compares himself to Kiss, flaunting rabbit fur, designer belts, and multiple shoe pairs. Lone boasts about many women and ignores haters to focus on money. Uzi says he's too busy pouring lean to care about drama, contracts crying in a Rolls Royce versus a bus, and references Werewolf Gang and his vamps. He shares explicit stories with virgins and cougars, and wonders why people react to him while he's just making money and rocking a Jersey Devil cap. The beat is high energy, spacey trap with twisted synths, booming 808s, and glitchy electronic accents. Holy shit, this synergy goes crazy, not gonna lie. This trinamic trio is low-key underrated. Their vocal performance is kind of low and echoey at the start, but then builds up normally. All of their flows were phenomenal, and the production fits perfectly.
Shout out Ken Carson, shout out Destroy Lonely. This is the only time you'll see the Vamps link with the Wolves, nigga. That's how we do it.
I'm putting it in S tier. Over Time, first previewed via IG Live on October 29th, 2022. He claims others haven't done what they rap about, like killing, using heavy drugs like Percocet, Xanax, and Molly, or living a flashy street life. He accuses them of lying about being broke, lacking style, and copying his swag. He brags about dressing up attractive women in designer clothes, taking them on shopping sprees, making millions, and aiming for billionaire status over time. He uses a fourth quarter sports metaphor to show he's deep in the game and near victory. He flaunts 40 pointers, large diamonds, and his daily lean drinking. He also praises a woman's insane brain, which basically means giving head, and that she deserves an award, and refers to her as a real whore. The beat features high-energy rage-style production with distorted synths, heavy 808s, rapid hi-hats, and a futuristic melody. So you know how I described some beats are so loud that it drowns out the lyricism? This one is the complete opposite. Like if you're using headphones, you'll notice his voice is mad loud on this one. I don't know if it's just me, but the mixing is kind of odd. But the beats are really good though. I'll give it that. I'm putting it in B tier. Vampire Hour focuses on loyalty, consistency, and self-identity. Ken repeatedly says he's never changed, contrasting himself with those who switch up. Dismisses material things like chains, fame, women, and riches as irrelevant to who he truly is. He uses vampire metaphors and mentions keeping a K after a J, hinting at street code. He does what he wants despite others' opinions, and points out how some disappear when needed most. Ken stresses his commitment to his gang, sacrificing time to keep them whole, always ready with protection, and only pulling up at 3 a.m. because he's a vamp. Other references like a Hellcat, burning tires, and smoke that causes tears, and calls out someone carrying too much baggage. The beat mixes dark atmospheric synths, punchy 808s, and a crisp hi-hat, blending rage with goth trap energy. This shit goes so hard. The lyrics, the beats, and production are out of this world. The part where he raps at a faster pace goes stupid. I love this one. I'm putting it in S tier. Nightcore was previously titled Ken Carson, but got renamed as an allusion to the song's overall sound, which is similar to the Nightcore genre. He sets a relaxed mood with references to kush, tattoos, and attracting women. A girl asks what his name is, and he replies with, "I'm Ken Carson, I'm from Atlanta," while flexing his lean use with fours in my Fanta. He prioritizes money over relationships, though he still engages in casual sex. He talks about lurking outside of your crib like a camper, threatens to light this bitch up like a candle, and references NBA player Julius Randle. He flexes his jewelry, rejects fake loyalty, and uses football metaphors for his relationships. He contracts treating women like rentals versus dinners. The upside down cross signals rebellion, warns haters to wait their turn, boasts his VVS diamonds while comparing himself to DJ Khaled, charges high fees for his talent, name drops Lionel Messi, claims success before social media fame, compares his romantic style to Jodeci, and highlights his viral presence and touring. The beat features glitchy synths, heavy bass, and rapid trap drums, creating a high-energy, distorted video game sound while channeling a light, pitch-shifted Nightcore aesthetic. At first, I didn't really like it, but it's kind of grown on me. His pitched-up voice gives off an older version of Ken. The xylophone 808s goes crazy, and the flow and production sound majestic. I'm putting it in A tier. Nightcore 2 is pretty much the same as the first one, no surprise there. He starts with a repetitive chorus while he's fixated on a woman he's falling for. He repeats his desire to spoil her with designer fashion while holding an AR-15. He talks about killing enemies, flashing wealth, luxury watches, diamonds, and uses sports metaphors. He treats hookups casually and forgets to reply to messages. He compares himself to Travis Scott, acknowledges addictions, dark thoughts, and feeling of being cursed, symbolized by the upside-down cross. Despite this, he remains captivated by the woman's movements and reflects on his blurred reality, indulgent habits, and conflict. The beat features punchy 808s, rapid hi-hats, and glitchy pitch-shifted Nightcore elements. His high-pitched delivery sounds the same, kind of scruffy, but it's barely noticeable. I think the production is pretty unique, but not as crazy as Nightcore 1. I do like the repetitive hook. I'm putting it in B tier. Rockstar Lifestyle, formerly known as Codeine Sipper, was previewed on 2 separate IG live streams and a Snapchat story on August 11th, 2023. Ken reflects on his journey from struggle to success, embracing a bold, rebellious rockstar persona. He brags about wealth, drugs, women, and his disregard for authority. He mentions enhancing a woman through cosmetic surgery, codeine addiction, and flying women internationally, using metaphors from wrestling, Mortal Kombat, and sports. He claims trap star status with references to drugs, guns, evading law enforcement, and dominating his block. He shouts out opium, flexes his luxury, says he's influencing TikTok fans like Drake, and pulls up with a Drake. He embraces his persona by going Super Saiyan while sporting an upside-down cross necklace, all while he's saying he's never sold his soul. The beat has a melodic instrumental with aggressive 808s, crisp hi-hats, and atmospheric synths. Another song I undermined from the start. The beat drop comes in like crazy, and his flow is so saucy. The production is so Dude, I can't believe I didn't bump this song as much as the others. It's so underrated. It's honestly top 5 for me. I'm putting it in S tier. I Need You, first previewed via IG Live on December 10th, 2022, and later released as a lead single on February 14th, 2023. He raps about a close relationship built on shared drug use and love, while flexing his dominance and dismissing rivals as scrubs. He cuts off fake people, criticizes others for copying his style, and boasts about his wealth, designer fits, and earnings from shows. He stays low-key with ecstasy use and keeps protection close. The beat features a haunting melodic melody layered over hard 808s and high high-energy rage-style instrumental. Another popular banger right here. This song is literally a whole mix of feelings. The beat is so lethal and gives off this rush feeling. The melody, flow, and lyrics are mixed incredibly. Since this came out on Valentine's Day, it helped fill this empty void in me and a lot of other fans. I'm putting it in S tier. Loading reflects on Ken's rise from struggle to success, calling out those who once doubted him but now want in. He talks about staying armed, loyal to his crew, and flaunting brands like Audemars Piguet, Chanel, Prada, and Robin jeans. He paints a picture of fast transactional relationships, betrayal, and unapologetic ambition. He references pop culture and street life with nods to Mr. Mosby, blood gang affiliations, weapon calibers like a 40, and smoking Swisher Sweets and Grabba leaf blunts. The recurring phrase, "my life still loading," symbolizes his ongoing growth and the continuous climb toward greater success despite his challenges. The beat blends energetic trap with melodic synths, hard 808s, and sharp percussion. This one is definitely the softest track on this album. His voice, flow, and melody sound so angelic and perfect. I cried to this one, deadass. I'm putting it in S tier. More Chaos, formerly known as Designer Hose, previewed a snippet posted on his Instagram account on May 11, 2024. The repeated phrase acts as both a mantra and a warning. He boasts about dripping in Balenciaga, Van Cleef, Chanel, and riding in a Rolls Royce with stars in the ceiling. He mentions Call of Duty Zombies with a pack-a-punch ray gun and sexual conquest. He mentions a girl tattooed his name as the Mark of the Beast, ends with a reflection on his inner high, saying it's not from drugs, but from life itself. The beat features distorted 808s, sharp snares, haunting synths, and ambient pads, creating a dark dystopian vibe. This track tingles my brain like crazy. His voice and flow are so hype, and the production is underrated as fuck. I'm putting it in A tier. Toxic, formerly known as Cheerleader, previewed on April 1st and again on May 14th, 2024. Ken raps about a toxic but loyal relationship with a dangerous woman. He flaunts his wealth, luxury cars, jewelry, and cash, while referencing firearms like Gene 5 G-Lock. He likens himself to a wild animal needing a zookeeper and hints at musical success. He shouts out his jailed friends, emphasizes his fast hustle, and warns others to tread carefully. The beat features hard-hitting 808s, sharp hi-hats, eerie synths, and a punchy percussion. The 808 beats and melody sound majestic, like what the fuck? The lyric sticks out so well. Honestly, it's such a vibe. I'm putting it in A tier. Leather Jacket, formerly known as Strike, previewed on his IG account on December 12th and 18th, 2023. The chorus sets a rebellious tone with biker/outlaw imagery, with a leather jacket, a Glock on the seat, and a nod to the Minnesota Vikings. Ken explores emotional detachment, saying he tried love but stayed guarded. He uses metaphors like Trident Gum and Mr. Miyagi. He warns against exposing secrets and notes how people only show interest after his success. He reflects on violence, drug use, and rejects street affiliations. Despite his growth, he sticks to his signature sound. The beat features a dark, stormy atmosphere with heavy bass, crisp percussion, and melodic synths. Holy shit! I'm not gonna lie, this is the most underrated track of the deluxe version. The beat sounds heavy and hits so hard. His flow mixes with it so well. I'm putting it in S tier. Mewtwo, formerly known as Pokemon, was previewed on his Instagram story on December 28th, 2023. He compares his obsession with money to going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and describing his girl as Delulu, which is slang for delusional. He compares her to Mewtwo from Pokemon, and describes their relationship growing from distant to intimate. He noted how she went from watching him on YouTube to supporting him at live shows. He offers that same support, willing to teach her on how to make money if she listens. He warns not to trip if he goes ghost. Rather than glorifying fame or crime, he values discipline and hustle. He sips lean but highlights the grind. The beat features distorted synths, glitchy arpeggios, heavy 808s, and crisp percussion for a futuristic sci-fi vibe. This song goes brazy. The hi-hats and melody are sending me. The hook and flow are so clean. I'm putting it in S tier. SS was recorded on August 13th, 2023 and previewed twice via IG stories on January 2nd and 12th, 2024. The song surfaced on January 20th, 2024 after a group buy for $4,000. The title nods to the American actress Sydney Sweeney.
Biggest misconception about me is that I am a dumb blonde with big tits. Naturally brunette.
In the first half, Ken raps about his lean addiction, using a kickstand metaphor to show how the drugs have him physically leaning. He uses lines like chopping the top of a McLaren, distancing it from a Lamborghini, and compares his girlfriend and his weapon to Sydney Sweeney because she has big tits. He boasts about his designer habits, brags about fucking someone's bitch while wearing Rick Owens socks, and throws coded lines like C's in my pockets, but we throwing B's, likely referencing money while nodding to gang affiliations. The second half includes bars about G6s, it's either about jets or pills, designer flexes by using Alex Mose over Johnny Dang, and Paris Fashion Week. He says he's locked in with a woman and claims he could buy multiple Richard Mille watches instead of settling for a Rolex. The beat has distorted 808s, sharp percussion, and sparse ominous melodies, then switches to light 808s and a sharp piano. Holy tits. The production alone needs an award. This is the hardest sounding one off the deluxe. The beat sounds diabolical and his voice delivery sounds so tough. The beat switch with the 808s is such a bliss, but I wish the length of the first half was longer. I'm putting it in S tier. Overseas, first previewed via IG Live on December 2nd, 2023. Then on January 7th, 2024, Ken made a tweet referencing a lyric about being overseas in London, Paris, and Amsterdam, but quickly deleted it. The official audio track was published on April 11th, which is also Ken's birthday, and with a music video released on October 18th. He opens by naming London, Paris, and Amsterdam, which are all overseas from where he resides in Atlanta. The hook blends indulgence and defiance, oral sex, weed, and avoiding a paper trail, while asserting his dominance with a Creed boxing reference. He switches between flexing and self-reflection. He compares his dick to Nightcore, name drops Gucci and Balenciaga, and wishing he could reassure his younger self of his future success. He likens himself to LeBron in Miami, quotes Beyonce and Nicki Minaj's Feeling Myself, London's Harrods and Selfridges, mocks copycats as parrots, and an ex's breakdown. The beat features buzzing 808s, eerie synths, sharp percussion, and a sleek electric melody. Honestly, this one has the best intro and transition on the deluxe version. Bro, the production just oozes out of my headphones into my ears. The hook and flow are so good. I wish I could hear this for the first time again. I'm putting it in S tier. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is my final ranking. This was my tier list and explanation to Ken Carson's 8th Grade Chaos. Comment down below which albums, singles, or whatever related to music you would like to hear me talk about next. I'll see you guys in the next video.